Charleston White recently went viral again, and once again, the attention came from controversial remarks and behavior. While many people appreciate him for speaking blunt truths and offering sharp social commentary, there's another side to his public image that raises deeper questions about identity, race, and contradiction within modern culture. A major part of his content revolves around shock value. He often says outrageous things about black people, then later claims it is all performance or comedy. However, many viewers struggle to believe that every statement is purely an act. Some of his comments appear too emotionally charged to feel completely detached from his real opinions. For example, he has openly mocked black people in ways that many found degrading, even comparing them to animals. Later, he doubled down with exaggerated performances, including appearing in whiteface while celebrating the idea of becoming a white man and joking about selling out to Hollywood. To some audiences, this was satire. To others, it reflected a deeper frustration or internal conflict tied to race and identity. At the same time, Charleston White often shifts into the opposite role. In other moments, he criticizes white individuals and accuses them of exploiting black workers or benefiting from systems of inequality. During one discussion, he even referred to podcast employees as modern-day slaves or indentured servants, despite being challenged on the definition of slavery itself. These dramatic swings between mocking black culture and attacking white power structures reveal a pattern of contradiction that many people overlook. What makes this conversation more interesting is that these contradictions are not unique to Charleston White. Similar attitudes exist throughout many communities, especially in environments shaped by hardship and distrust. The speaker reflects on growing up in a rough neighborhood where family members constantly warned against trusting other black people. Parents and relatives often encouraged young people to escape their communities, avoid certain relationships, and distance themselves from people they believed would hold them back. Ironically, some of these same individuals would later speak passionately about racism, oppression, and systemic injustice. This creates a confusing dynamic where criticism of black communities and criticism of racism coexist side by side. According to the speaker, this mindset can negatively affect personal growth because it places responsibility in two conflicting directions at once, blaming internal community issues while also blaming outside systems for every obstacle. The broader point being made is that these identity struggles are deeply rooted and often passed down through generations. They are not always openly discussed, but they influence how people see themselves, their communities, and the world around them. Charleston White simply brings these contradictions into public view in an extreme and controversial way. The same pattern can be seen far beyond America. The speaker explains that while living in Poland, he met many African men who constantly criticized their own countries and communities. They would openly complain about their people, their culture, and the problems back home to almost anyone willing to listen. Their words were not always as extreme as Charleston White's, but the mindset carried a similar negativity. Yet the contradiction became obvious whenever those same men experienced racism themselves. For example, if a white girlfriend or someone in society insulted them or treated them unfairly because of their race, they suddenly became deeply offended. They questioned why they were being disrespected and accused others of racism. This revealed a conflict many people carry internally, criticizing their own identity while also demanding respect for it from others. According to the speaker, this mental conflict keeps communities stuck in place. When people are constantly taught that their own group lacks value or is responsible for every problem, they slowly stop believing change is possible. Instead of investing energy into improving their neighborhoods or building stronger communities, they distance themselves emotionally and mentally from their own people. The speaker then shifts to a more personal reflection. He explains that interacting with successful black men across different professions completely changed his perspective. Through his audience and real-life experiences, he met talented men working in the military, trucking, plumbing, business, and many other fields. Before that, he never fully understood how much skill, intelligence, and potential existed among black men not only in America but around the world. At the same time, he points out that many harmful beliefs are learned early in life. The kind of rhetoric Charleston White repeats did not appear out of nowhere. Someone taught him to think that way. Even if most people do not express those beliefs as aggressively, the ideas still exist quietly in many homes and conversations. Statements like "what white people say about us is true" become deeply rooted and slowly shape how people see themselves and each other. The speaker argues that this mindset creates a dangerous cycle. On one side, people develop negative opinions about their own community. On the other side, they feel society is constantly working against them. When both beliefs exist together, confusion takes over. A person begins to feel trapped between self-doubt and resentment, unable to move forward with confidence or purpose. What frustrates the speaker most is that Black communities already possess enormous talent, creativity, influence, and economic power. He describes Black men as one of the most gifted groups of people in the world, capable of achieving incredible success. However, that potential is often weakened by the constant mental battle between internal negativity and external blame. In the end, the message is about changing perspective. The speaker believes progress cannot happen until people confront these learned attitudes honestly. Yes, bad experiences with others may exist, but allowing those experiences to permanently shape self-worth only keeps individuals and communities emotionally trapped. Growth begins when people retrain their thinking, reject destructive beliefs, and start recognizing value within themselves and within each other. The speaker argues that real progress cannot happen unless people begin believing opportunities can exist within their own communities. He explains that many individuals carry painful experiences with others, whether from racism, betrayal, or disappointment. But if those experiences completely destroy trust in one's own people, community growth becomes almost impossible. According to him, there is a constant contradiction taking place. On one side, some people repeat negative stereotypes about Black communities and quietly agree with the criticisms outsiders make. On the other side, they strongly push back against racism and discrimination whenever it affects them personally. The result is a cycle of confusion where communities struggle to unite around a clear sense of purpose or belief in themselves. To illustrate this idea, the speaker points to Adam 22. He argues that Adam 22 entered spaces and industries connected to Black culture without hesitation or fear. Despite not being from those communities, he believed he could succeed there, build relationships, and create profitable opportunities. While many warned about violence, gang culture, or instability, Adam 22 reportedly approached the environment with confidence instead of doubt, and according to the speaker, that confidence helped him succeed. The speaker contrasts this mindset with the mentality many people within the community develop themselves. He believes countless talented individuals limit their own potential before they even begin. Instead of taking risks, building businesses, or creating opportunities, many already expect failure or rejection in advance. In his view, this lack of belief becomes a bigger obstacle than external barriers. He expands the argument by mentioning immigrant groups, including Asian and Korean business owners, who often enter difficult neighborhoods and still operate with determination. Even when facing threats, hostility, or crime, they continue investing because they believe opportunities exist there. They trust that people in those communities will still spend money, support businesses, and contribute to economic growth. That confidence allows them to move forward despite the risks. Meanwhile, the speaker believes many Black Americans struggle to see their own communities through the same lens of opportunity. Instead, there is often a complicated emotional relationship where people simultaneously love and resent their own culture. He describes it as caring enough to defend the community publicly, yet distrusting it too much to build with it economically or socially. That tension, he argues, prevents ownership, cooperation, and long-term progress. Ultimately, the speaker's message is less about blaming individuals and more about challenging deeply rooted thinking patterns. He encourages listeners to genuinely consider the possibility that mental barriers and internalized negativity may be holding many people back before they ever get started. In his opinion, meaningful change begins when communities stop viewing themselves through fear, doubt, and contradiction, and start recognizing their own value, potential, and ability to succeed together.